Hey there, YouTube. This is Cine for Cine Reviews. And just let me tell you this the past 4 days have been the longest days of my life. I've been trying to watch this movie called Viking, not to be confused with the History Channel series Vikings, which was actually pretty good, except for season 3 was a little eh. Okay, so this movie is made by some apparent Russian dudes, and they apparently do not understand the art of visual storytelling. I'm really not a big fan of dubs unless they're really well made dubs, like some anime dubs. I could watch a dub with subtitles or without. The whole idea of visual storytelling is to tell a story visually so you can follow it. Let's say I was watching a movie and I hit mute, no captions on or anything. I should still be able to follow the story from beginning, middle, and end. This one, I mean, it had a lot of potential. It had certain scenes were visually appealing. The opening scene was really more than appealing. I think it was really well done. That initial scene where you get the people coming in the forest and it's all snowy and they're on this huge hunt for this ginormous, I don't know if it's an auroch, but it's just huge bull. And that was really cool until they started talking. And that the whole movie pulled me out of the movie because of the dub. It would have been better if they would have just kept the Russian dialogue and just threw subtitles up there for me. I don't know if it's an option, but I don't think I would ever watch this movie again. A lot of movies it can be killed in the edit. I don't know, maybe that's what happened to this one. It's supposed to be a story about three brothers. Typical, their dad was a king. He dies, and then they split up the kingdom 3 different ways. And this one is supposed to be about, oh well, since this guy is a bastard, he was with his dad, who was a king, and some slave girl, so that would make him a bastard, just like Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, if you know who that is. So, trying to figure out why they've got all this stuff and they're not using it correctly. I mean, they use a strange mishmash of scenes, and again, like Annihilation, I didn't really feel tension. I didn't really feel anything for the characters. It's like in Vikings, you like Ragnar, you like Floki, you like Rollo, or you dislike Floki and you dislike Rollo, but usually everybody likes Ragnar. And then, of course, everybody loves Lagertha because she's so badass. But in this one, I couldn't really have any. I couldn't tell you that I had any characters that I was rooting for or cared about. They had an interesting insert of some pension eggs. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back a minute. They're also supposed to be, I think, the Russ Vikings, and some other guys show up and say they're Vikings as well. But then they also mix in Romans, which were not around during the Viking period. They should have been the Byzantines. I was really happy to see some late Roman iconographic images with the Cairo on their shields, but their shields were weird too because they should have been round or rounded and dished, not these odd shaped things. And then some of the costumes were well made for the quote unquote Romans, which should have been Byzantines. And it's just like they had a really good opportunity to start off with Prince Vladimir, who was the bastard child. As he could have been the bad guy, he could have been the anti-hero, and they could have had him go through his hero's journey and then change over to an actual hero, or just kept him the same. As long as he had some kind of growth or change. And I mean, they waited until the 2-hour mark for him to all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to become a Christian now for no reasons, and then I'm going to cry about stuff which makes no sense. Viking crying about stuff to some dude that you just met. Oh, you can't lie here in the church where we're at, so tell me everything. And he does. What? I mean, in Vikings TV series, you had a buildup of Ragnar Lothbrok and Athelstan, where Athelstan gets introduced to the Norse gods, and Ragnar gets introduced to the Christian gods, and they both have this inner conflict, and they're trying to figure out, you know, what's going on, where's my faith, etc., etc. None of that, no build up. There was a really cool scene where Vladimir finds this little toy boat, but there's no context. That was a perfect chance for them to do a flashback. They didn't do that at all. They had a weird scene where his other brother was going to this town, and then he falls off the drawbridge and dies in the moat. I don't know why that was even in there like that. There was so much potential to be had with the movie that they didn't capitalize on it. And I just had to stop watching it. I mean, I tried watching it Saturday, and I was like, okay, I can't take it anymore. Sunday, okay, well, maybe I can muscle through it. No, I was like, oh my God, I'm so bored. Monday, same thing. I was like, ugh. And then today, which is Tuesday, I finally finished the thing. And then at the very end of the movie, they had this really big scene, and supposedly everybody from that village was getting baptized, but there's no real context of how and why. This is just a big mess that I'm sure if it was edited correctly, it could have been a better film. Hey, it definitely should have been a shorter film. And it just got so many scenes that could have been cut out that were not really necessary. Overall, I would say I would give this like a D-. I mean, the visuals are kind of cool, but you can't base your movie off of visuals. Special effects, same thing. CGI, you can have the best CGI in the world. It doesn't matter. CGI does not make a movie. Special effects do not make a movie. The horror effects do not make a good horror movie. It's all about story. You got to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You got to have stuff that makes sense. You got to have the audience be able to follow your characters, and you got to be able to have some sort of investment in the characters. Even if you hate characters like Joffrey in Game of Thrones, and you're like, oh, finally he got what he deserved. Or you're watching characters and say, hey, this guy is cool, and then all of a sudden gets killed, and you're, oh, damn, I kind of like that guy. Why'd he get killed? So I would definitely not recommend you spend 2 hours of your life that you can never, ever get back on this movie. If you want, watch the trailer. That might actually be a better way to watch it as a movie, because, oh my God, yeah. At least now I'm going to move on. I'm going to be seeing Lita Battle Angel. I had a small part as I was an extra in the crowd on that, so I'm going to hopefully see if I'm in one of the scenes. And then I'll be hopefully doing a review by next coming up Saturday. So look forward to that. If you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have any comments, please go ahead and comment below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to have more reviews, hopefully a little bit more on time, but this whole movie just threw off my schedule. And planning on doing some short films in the future and posting them here as well. All right, well, thanks for watching my review, and I will see you later.